we pause for a second or two. This is episode 55, Sudden Change of Plan. Most of the time in life, as we make plans, we are seldom the only person involved. Most often, as we make plans and as we try to live through the plan, most of the time we are more people than one doing it. So, a lot about planning does not really have to do with planning at all, but has to do with the people involved. If you take, for example, a newborn baby, the first thing that is interesting to a newborn, as it is trying to make sense out of life, is not the world in itself. What is important to the newborn, as it is making its own plans, so to speak, what's most important to the newborn is the connection with its mother and father. So the mother and father might be observing the world, might be reacting to the world, to the surroundings. The newborn, however, is intently fixated and focused on its parents' faces, their facial expressions, their reactions. So what is important for the newborn's plans making is not first-hand the surroundings in themselves, but the alliance and the cooperation with its parents. This example of how a newborn is making plans and cooperating. This example is quite extreme and sort of not comical, but it doesn't really apply to us adults. But the tendency is still the same. As we are making plans, and we are more than one person, we are a group of people. As we are making plans, not in as much extent as for the newborn, but us reacting to our surroundings is just as important as us reacting to each other. Often, when we have to make a sudden change of plan, it is most often due to someone in the group reacting in a way we did not expect. Most often, a sudden change of plan is due to the cooperation between us and our reactions to each other rather than something external. Today's episode is called Sudden Change of Plan. And more specifically, this episode will be dedicated to when our plans are suddenly changed due to the dynamics in our group. Today's episode is related to our universal skill, creativity. And it is very creative to not only plan according to external circumstances, but plan according to and due to the dynamics within our group. So you are familiar with the expression that a chain is not stronger than its weakest link. And there is truth to this. And you are familiar with the expression that a team is not better than its weakest player. And according to external circumstances, sometimes I will be the weakest player. And sometimes you will be the weakest player. And most of the time, when we have to make sudden change of plans, it is due to that we forget this. It is due to that we lose our focus on how we are sort of working as a group, working as a single organism. And in these times that we live in right now, the stakes feel very high. There's a lot of stress in the air. There's a lot of fear flying around. And it is my belief, at least, that maybe what is most important is not to make plans for any contingency, for any external contingency, but rather to refine our dynamics, refine our cooperation within our group, whatever group that may be. Might be our family, might be our workplace, might be our community or our country. My experience, my personal experience in trying to refine our dynamics within my group is that the single most important sort of creative skill, universal skill, creativity. The most important aspect is the eye contact in the group. Because as we as a group move through our surroundings, we meet ever new challenges. Often we meet challenges that are brand new. We have never met them before. So a lot of the planning as a group and planning for sudden change of plans is about reconnecting with each other, how we react to the situation. So, as a group, we move forward step by step. And for each step that we are moving forward, we do not know exactly, we cannot plan exactly how each individual will react, how each individual emotionally will feel. So, at every step of the way, we do this micro pause. We pause for a second. Sometimes we pause for a bit longer. And we feel how we ourselves react to these new set of circumstances. And then we lift our eyes and look at each other. And we will see when someone in the group has reacted strongly to something. We see this most clearly and instantly by looking each other in the eye. Just to check, just to make sure that we are functioning as a single organism still. So we take a step, we pause, we check in with ourselves if we have become the weakest player, if we have reacted strongly to something. And then we lift our eyes and check with the others and see if someone else has reacted strongly to something. This way, we will have to make sudden change of plans. That is inevitable. We will always have to make sudden change of plans. But we will not be thrown off center. We will not be thrown off balance by these continuous sudden changes of plan. So our job is not to try to prevent plans changing. Every plan has to be modified, every plan has to be revisited, every plan has to be adjusted to as the circumstances are changing. We can never sort of avoid changing plans. But we do not need to feel as startled or thrown off balance by this. And the best way that I know to do this is to, as we take each step, pause for a second or two, check in with ourselves, and then look each other in the eye to see how each person is feeling. In this last part of today's episode, I want to say just a few things about what do we do when we pause and get some sort of feeling that we are the ones who are reacting strongly to something, that we are the ones who might become a liability under these new circumstances. What do we do when we feel like we need to be sort of caught or picked up by someone in the group? My short answer to this is that I don't know, actually. I find this question to be personally very difficult. So personally, I am quite comfortable with regularly pausing and checking in on everyone. But if you as well are a person who want to make a habit out of pausing and checking in with the group, or that you might already be doing this, and maybe I'm just talking about something you're already doing and already thinking. If you are like me in this manner, then you will also have thought about that sometimes it is difficult to know what to do when maybe we are not the ones who are supposed to do something. Sometimes we are at a loss. Sometimes we are the ones who are not really sure how to move forward. Sometimes we are the ones who feel confused, but do not recognize that we are confused. And in some way, I don't know really why, but it feels like the right ending to this episode, to just close with that I do not know, actually, what we are supposed to do when we are the ones who feel at a loss or feel the most confused in a situation. Maybe when that is the case, maybe it is up to the other people to check in with us. Maybe then it is up to the other people in our family, in our workplace, in our community, and in our country to check in with us, to look us in the eye. And if they don't, then afterwards we will have to take it from there. That's it for today. Thank you.